Hi, this is Asim,
This is Sujoy.
This is Amrita.
and you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast about the three main Khans of the Hindi film industry:
Amir.
Salman,
And Shara.
Hi, you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast regular feed. Thank you so much for your support over the years. We now have a Patreon channel with bonus content and exclusive merch for those of you who would like to support us. Every dollar goes towards creating more and better content. Visit us at patreon.com/Khandaan podcast.
Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Khandaan podcast. My name is Asim Bernie, and I'm joined with my lovely co-host Amrita and Sujoy. Hey, Amrita. Hi, Sujoy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. It's been so long that Asim can't remember how to start the episode anymore.
Yeah, like the thing is, like like when we're not recording, it's such a part of my life and my routine. Ke like when routine खराब हो जाती है, then like Sujoy के पेट के तरह सब खराब हो जाता है.
Let's not bring my kharab pet into the mix, man. It's been a horrible 12 hours for me. But
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll not get into details. We will get into the movie we're talking about this week, and it is a listener's pick. This was our listener from Patreon, Osama, that recommended this movie called Kyun Ki, starring Salman Khan, Kareena Kapoor, Jackie Shroff, directed by Priyadarshan. This was I hadn't seen this movie in ages. Like I have to say, like it's been a while, and it immediately brought me back to that era of Salman, where, funnily enough, I feel we're in that era again with Salman, where things are not going too well, and people are just like, "Oh, Salman is just sleepwalking through movies," And this was this period, I feel.
Well, one thing I didn't remember that this was a Priyadarshan movie. So when that thing came up, his name came up on, and it wasn't just like directed by Priyadarshan. It was like story, screenplay, direction, and I was just like, oh dear. And I hadn't seen this movie before. I realized I'd always thought that I'd seen it, but I didn't because at
You've
that
never seen
point,
it?
no, because you know how we have AI slop now? There was like a period when we used to have Priyadarshan slop. It was like this movie actually came out with another Priyadarshan movie. Like it clashed with another Priyadarshan movie at the movies. That's
Garam
how many
Masala.
movies. Yeah, that's how many movies he was bringing out. But I do disagree that Salman was sleepwalking through this movie because I feel like he was deliberately sabotaging this movie. Like he was actively harming whatever was happening. Like we'll discuss it
We
in
will get
detail, I'm
into
sure.
this.
Yes.
So also on this rewatch, I actually didn't realize that this was a remake of a Priyadarshan movie. I don't know how where was it?
Palavattam.
Yeah, starring Mohanlal. And obviously, when you see a Mohanlal movie, you say Salman Khan. The connection. Immediate.
That is, do we want to discuss that right now? Because the remake status of this movie is
Yes.
friggin' insane.
Yeah, because I actually watched the original, so I could
What?
I watched the original. I
Oh,
watched
wow.
the original for this podcast. This is how much mehnat I do for a Salman Khan Priyadarshan movie, where I won't be doing for Devdas, which is later on.
Oh, no.
Like there's something.
Disclaimer, I haven't watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest ever.
Honestly, it doesn't have much to do with. Like, I think that was kind of the narrative that was being pushed.
Okay.
Like here nobody flew over the cuckoo's nest.
I opened up the Wikipedia page and it said that it was inspired by One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I was like, "What?" Because
Yeah.
I read the
Maybe the
Wikipedia page
original one, like some
after.
core idea there, but I don't know.
I
There's no
mean,
cuckoos here to be found.
it's set in a mental asylum. Like that's basically
Yeah.
the part. But there is like so many other like inspirations for this movie. Like there's one which is Khamoshi, which is from the 19
Mm-hmm. Rajesh
60s,
Khanna,
I want to
Wahida
say.
Rahman.
No, it's Dharmendra and Wahida Rahman.
Mm.
And it's that song is there, it's like very famous and everything, where like Wahi does this, but that one was like an exploration of a nurse who repeatedly finds herself caring about her patients to the point where she goes insane, right?
Mm.
Like that was the story. And then there's Spellbound by Hitchcock, right? Which is about a man who's accused of a murder. And he thinks he's a murderer. And, it turns out that he has some sort of like guilt complex and blah, blah, blah. And it's Gregory Peck and Ingrid Bergman. And I don't know if you guys have watched it, but it's an amazing film. And it is clearly like that is something that I can see in this as well. And then I guess, yeah, one flew over the cuckoo's nest, but honestly, there was like points in this where I was thinking like The Shining as well, because it was just like there were like things happening, because this entire film is set in a mental institution. It's not a mental institution, it is a very old school mental asylum,
Yeah,
right? And it's clearly meant to be a jail, but they've somehow made it a mental asylum, and
yeah.
it's just there's like
It's a
so many.
very Bollywood version of a mental asylum as well, right? Like, if you have you guys seen this meme of um, सब्जी में क्या बनाऊं चलो आलू डाल देती हूँ कुछ खाने के लिए बचा नहीं चलो आलू डाल देती हूँ the everything like Om Puri has a solution to is कुछ नहीं करने को है तो shock दे दो सबको everything is shock like and that's the Bollywood I grew up with like everybody goes to a mental asylum and the only way to treat them is give an electric shock and that's what Kyun Ki is.
Do you want to give us a little summary of the storyline, Amrita, since we're now kind of get into it? We like
I mean, I
what
don't.
happens in this movie for the people that haven't seen it?
Why am I giving the summary when you've actually gone and watched the Malayalam original to compare? If there is one person on this panel who should be talking about the story, it is clearly you, Asim.
Because my tendency to when I start talking about Salman Khan things, the summary might have becoming 40 minutes long. That's why I will get somebody who can succinctly say what is happening here. Okay, this is my summary. We're in a private mental asylum. They actually call it a private mental asylum, a mental hospital. Om
Mhm.
Puri is the head. He's like the Hitler type. Then you have Kareena, who gets weirdly involved with her patients, who's the daughter, who's also a doctor. And then you have Jackie Shroff, who's also a doctor, and he kind of has a more softer approach. He's like kind of more the Munna Bhai out of these doctors here. Salman Khan gets into this institution because some accident happened and he has killed his girlfriend, played by Rimi Sen. Yeah, that's kind of the basic premise of it, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to get into spoilers because I'm sure you're fascinated what might happen when the doctor is played by Kareena and the patient is played by Salman. But yeah, so I think that the start of the movie is interesting because there's this idea that there's this lady that Karina is taking care of, and once she gets healed and she's leaving the mental asylum, she also gets amnesia and she leaves the doctor behind. And we are supposed to feel really bad for Karina because she cared so much for this
Mhm.
lady and called her my mom, that I was like, Karina, boundaries, please. Like,
Yeah.
But
like,
also, that's like a success, isn't it? Like you
yeah,
cured somebody, so you
yeah,
Yeah.
can leave.
yeah. Like as a doctor, you don't want only payment, but you also need eternal gratitude from your patients. Like apparently, not only a transactional relationship, but also like a Stockholm syndrome kind of relationship. And she like really gets involved, and she really like this is her, like key theme as a character in this movie is that Karina just wants love from crazy people. Like she really wants to be loved by crazy
She's
people.
clearly not getting the love she wants from her father.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where the root
But
cause lies. We are
but she
shrinking our
also
way into Karina's character now.
And
But she has access to like normal people, but
Hmm.
they're also like, ha, tum na, like go back to your
yeah,
crazy people. That's who you should be with.
yeah. Also, this movie is like the worst representation of mental health and mental health professional
Hmm.
together.
Yeah.
And I was watching the movie and I was thinking, you know what makes me think about of how law was presented in Mary Jung. You know, it's like in Mary Jung, the way law is presented and lawyers are presented.
Hmm.
This is what QK does to mental health. And then I realized that the original that Priyadarshan made came only 1 year after Mary Jung released. So there was something going on in that era about just take a core idea and we'll just masalafy it. You know, like it's interesting. And I was also just wondering when this was pitched to Salman Khan. Salman was like, "Yeah, tere naam ki hai na?" Like same hai na? But just the hospital has to be better because that one was not
Yeah,
great.
and this hospital looks like spick and span.
Yeah,
It's very much the model of.
So
Uh,
it starts with this weird thing of Salman telling people that psychiatrists are basically there to drive people insane. When
very Tom Cruise of him. He's like acting his inner Tom Cruise.
he's like, you're driving people insane by showing them like Rorschach tests. And I was like,
Which I agree with. I have to say, like I personally, Rorschach takes us nonsense. Like this is not, and the way they're doing it, they're in a boardroom with 50 doctors, and they're like, "Ye kya hai?" It's like, what? What am I supposed to do here? Like,
I also really enjoyed the fact that usually Rorschach tests are like black and white,
yes,
but they were like, feel nahi aa raha. So they made it
Eastman
like
color mein.
butterfly color. Yeah. And they're like, what does this look like? It doesn't look like a butterfly.
yeah.
God. Uh yeah, it was terrible.
What did you think, Sujoy? Had you seen this movie before?
No, I haven't. I
This is
I
the
think
first watch.
yeah. So
What are you guys doing? Like, what is this era
no,
you
if
want to
if you look at Salman's
career
filmography
filmography?
in that period, Maine Pyar Kyun Kiya came out and No Entry came out, right? Those were big hits, and like the reason to go to the cinema. Then I think Kyun Ki, somehow the buzz around that movie was very pika. The songs were pika. Just yeah, I didn't feel the need to go to the cinema, and then somehow it just escaped my radar back then, and I never got around to watching it. I knew that the conversation was about, oh, it's based on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and everybody was talking about how depressing it is in a way, and that's something I did not associate with Salman Khan. I
Yeah.
haven't even watched Tere Naam for the same reason. So we will get to that when we get to that, but no. And like yeah, as you said, the interpretation of mental asylum or mental hospital and the patients here is just insane. It's so unhealthy on so many levels, and then like all the mini characters that have their own little problems, and they are almost laughed at, at how it is written. And then you have Asrani, who is there with his own plan. He's escaping, not giving away his property by faking his insanity or something like that. That was horrible.
This movie
Hmm?
this movie is so bad that I actually it made me think that Tere Naam was a good film compared to this. Like that's how bad this movie is. Anyway, sorry, you were saying something, Asim.
No, I was just saying because it is kind of confusing because the place that they're in, the hospital, seems like a very rich place. Like the
Hmm.
first lady that kind of comes out of it, she drives around, she drives away in a Mercedes. She has like people attending to her. So it feels like also they're clearly saying that Salman Khan is a rich person. Like his
Hmm.
family is rich, they're all in America settled. So this seems to be a place where rich people go for their mental health, where obviously Tere Naam is like a completely separate kind of
Hmm.
institution that's being shown. But the treatment of these people seems so barbaric that I don't understand how you're mixing those two things together in a way. Like either you're, I don't know how you can get away with treating rich people this way, basically, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, and that is one of those things that I just could never
I
understand
didn't
really.
even get the rich people angle. I just thought, how on earth has Om Puri this much authority to do anything with all these humans?
Hmm.
Like he's treating people like test subjects, and getting away with it. And that was something I just couldn't comprehend.
No, this is what I mean by Priyadarshan slop, because
Hmm.
I'll tell you exactly how he made this movie. He went back, he took that script that he had made in Malayalam, and then he was just like, this person will be played by this person will be played by this person. And then he just basically made the same thing. There was like no update. There was no like, okay, what kind of conversations are we having about mental health at this point? None of that stuff. And this is also, I think, like, Sujoy was saying how there were like other movies that came out of Salman in this particular year that were bigger hits, and therefore he didn't see it. But I think the reason why I didn't really watch this movie is because this was the era of like the B-list Salman.
Hmm.
And I really didn't care about like most of the movies. Like even like No Entry and Maine Pyar Kyun Kiya were like big hits and all that. But I almost watched those movies, like I don't even know how. Like I think they were just playing somewhere and I was like in that general vicinity, and that's how I watched it. I don't remember going out to the theaters to watch a Salman film in this era, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I didn't watch this.
Yeah. And this was also the first time that Kareena and Salman were acting together.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't say that these two together have been a great pairing, to be honest. I think Bajrangi Bhaijaan is the only one that was kind of decent, but
Hmm.
there's for every Bajrangi Bhaijaan, there's Kyun Ki and there's also Main or Mrs. Khanna, like which I also have sat through. So yeah, it's kind of like I think they were kind of trying to get together for the first time, but it really didn't work. And I think it's one of those Karina things where she just kind of like she's unscathed. Like it does not bother her at all that a movie doesn't work, or like she is just amazing in it. She looks amazing in it. And I think Priyadarshan was specifically like I actually watched a few Priyadarshan interviews because he was selling this movie hard. Like he was selling it so much. Like he was saying, yeah, I didn't have a budget in Malayalam movies, so I wanted to get somebody more glamorous. So we got Kareena, and we want to get these extra flashback sequences, and we wanted to spend more money by doing outdoors and all of this. So he is very much a captain in control of what it this needed to be. And I remember an interview, and I cannot find, I looked for it. I remember it that Priya Darshan said that Salman said we should change the ending of this movie.
Hmm.
It's too sad. And Priya Darshan said no. And he apologized later to Salman that he should have changed the ending and adapted it to the times and to the audiences. And
The problem with that ending is not that it is sad or that he should have adapted it to the time and the audience. The problem with that ending is that it is batshit insane. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like, what is this rewriting of like history? Because for those who I'm this is totally
let's
spoilers
spoil. Let's
because
start
Yeah. Yeah.
spoiling. Yeah.
it's 20 years later. I'm sorry, like we are gonna get spoiled. Um, yeah, so it basically ends with a lobotomy, and then like Salman gets lobotomied, and then
Lobotomized.
lobotomized.
Yeah.
Lobotomized.
Yeah, he get lobotomized, and then and then this film makes a very strong argument that if you are mentally disabled and like you don't have like like a functioning like mental health, then you don't deserve to live.
Yeah.
And they mercy kill him because
Yeah.
they're just like, well, you clearly don't deserve to live. Like there's no reason why you should be alive. And then Karina goes insane from that and
Yeah.
ends up in the as like a patient in this is what I meant, like this is like the Kamoshi thing where the nurse
Hmm.
is like, but in Kamoshi when Wahida Rahman goes insane, it leads up to it. There's like a
Hmm.
very like layered psychological exploration of her emotions and why does she feel this way about her patients and what is it about this one particular patient that like really triggers her, etc. But in this, everything is like ha ha he he, and there's like Salman being like, oh, like, I'm an idiot savant, and
Mhm.
I'm just gonna do like all these fun little things. And then all of a sudden it's just like boom, and
Yeah.
you're just like, I don't understand how we reach this place.
It's an it almost becomes like a kind of a coming to terms with Om Puri's treatment of patients, and he is the one kind of getting punished because now his own daughter that he
Mhm.
loves so much is a patient, and she can't do anything anymore. But never has Om Puri been the center of the story, or his treatment of patients, or what his position or his ideas are about mental health and stuff like that. So he's just like a very rigid villain,
Mhm.
um in this kind of world, and he's just like, he just wants to beat up like his patients. He has no love for them. Like, there's a moment, like, all of these patients are very shown in a very kind of infantile way.
Yeah.
It's very like, oh, they're just kids, kind of like, bacha dimag, and they do antics and shenanigans, right? And you have to meet them at that level, or you beat them up. He has basically security guards beat up one of the mental patients because he wants a candle, because he wants to pray for somebody. And Salman goes out to the village, and then he comes back, and then he gets him the candle, and it becomes this whole thing. But again, I was like, this doesn't either, because Om Puri is not involved in all of that. It's just
Mhm.
kind of like the atmosphere he's created in this hospital, where the guards are just beating up their patients, right? So it never really connects with Om Puri. And then when you need, like, who is this ending sad for? Like, Salman to mar gaya, like, he's dead, right? So it's just like a very weird kind of like ending to.
Also, the mood of this movie is very, as Amrita said, very haha he he, because
Yeah,
it's like a Sanjay Chhel written script, right? It's very much of that comedy, look at all these mental people with all their mental problems, and they forget these stuff, and they have weird dreams and whatever, and then the shock things happen, and the final 10 minutes is when shit just hits the
yeah,
fan, like one after another. And as somebody who knew that there was going to be some tragedy happening, I always thought that Salman is going to die. But then that happens. Ompuri, lobotomizes Salman, and then the whole Jackie thing happens, and then the Kareena thing happens, and that's when I texted Asim like, "Freaking hell! I just watched Kyun Ki, and freaking hell, what the hell happened?"
and and it's funny because I want to talk about the journey of Salman here as a patient,
Mhm.
right? Because we're saying he's been lobotomized, but Om Puri lobotomized a completely healthy Salman. He's okay now.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the main thing that we have to kind of like. He has
yeah.
been healed. So the story is, he comes in, he has this massive trauma because he was gonna get married to Rimi Sen, and Rimi Sen kind of deserved to die because she was like, she was, that story of the boy who cries
Cried
wolf.
wolf, yeah.
She is that person, and she really pushes. Like, there was like, oh, first of all, she's a nurse. She wants to be a nun.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yeah.
kind of kajol in Avara Bhamari kind of
What?
storyline.
Sapne.
Why did she have to be like, there were like
And
so many choices that could have been made,
but I think
but
that probably works in a Malayalam movie, right? Where I assuming you have more Christian people, and like,
actually, yeah, that
you
probably
know
does make sense in a
that
Malayalam
makes
film.
sense there, but it doesn't make sense for Rimi Sen. But Rimi Sen wants to be a nurse, but she's also a very skilled car driver. Like, she
Mm-hmm.
can drive like Tom Cruise does in Mission Impossible 2. And she's also an amazing horse rider, like she's, Sunny Deol. So there's a lot going on, but she can't swim. So she's
Yeah.
basically saying the whole thing like, oh, I mere man mein tick tick hoti hai, which is such an annoying way to say something. I was like, I hope she dies, and then my wish gets,
Immediately
granted to me
rewarded.
immediately. This is I control the world, right? So he basically throws her in the water, and she can't swim in a pool where you literally have to just stand up. Anil Kapoor said this in Tezab: just stand up, you're fine, Madhuri. So
Yeah.
Rimi Sen could just stand up, and
And not in a like in a party.
in a
Like,
party, like, nobody is there to save her. I think everybody wants Rimi Sen to die. Basically,
yeah.
that's what happened. The whole party hates her. Um, So yeah, she died. He gets mental trauma. He goes to the insane asylum, and then there he also finds that Jackie Shroff, his dad was some sort of judge landlord, and he gave some bakshish to Jackie Shroff, and Jackie Shroff is eternally grateful to him.
Hmm.
And then he's like, Sunil Bhaiya, and that kind of like hits him, right? Which was a hilarious scene because Jackie Shroff is like, "Do you recognize me?" And Salman says, "No, I don't." And then Jackie puts his glasses on. "Do you recognize me now?" When in the past he was never wearing glasses. So it was like, that doesn't even make sense. But that's the level we're operating at, right?
Hmm.
So he goes to Kareena. He's like, "Yo, stop being so mean with him because he's wearing 36 and the old auntie you treated was also wearing 36 and that's why you hate him." Here is the biggest diary that ever existed in the world of diaries. It's just it's like this big. Tu pad, Kareena. And then it's like obviously it's a photo album because Salman is not taking notes. Right? It's just photo album. So, like, Salman's thoughts, like, like
It's the
it's
script
just
of Veer.
photos.
It's
It's
the
just
script of
photos.
Veer
Yeah.
inside.
So she realizes, oh my god, he loved this girl and now he's crazy. So then she starts the treatment where she's basically like Om Shanti Om, where she's like doing the whole Deepika thing. She acts like she's Maya. She's
Yeah.
really Sen. And then Salman gets confused. And then the solution to his mental health problem is basically chalo chalo Tinu ko dande marne. Because he runs, he hits his head against a tree very hard, stands up, he's fine. मैं ठीक हो गया.
You know, so you know what that this is like a very Malayali thing actually, because there is actually a Bhagwati temple in Kerala, in Cochin actually, and it is known for curing like mental problems. Okay, so if you have like schizophrenia or something, then your family will take you to this temple, and the way the ritual that they do is actually there are these like 1 foot long iron nails, and there is this banyan tree, and they get this nail against the tree, and these people like bang the nail into, like, hammer it into the tree with their head. That's basically I can see that, like, Priyadarshan just basically thought about Chotani and I was just like, oh, that's how we cure people who have mental health problems. They would just need to go like bang into a tree and boom, they're cured, like it's just very, yeah, I don't even know
Well, I
what to
won't make
say.
any comments because Dhurandhar is now on Netflix, so I will not making any comments about what you have just told me. I also have to add, there's a sidetrack where there's a special appearance in this movie, guys, that we haven't talked about yet. Sunil Shetty shows up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Om Puri has arranged this secret marriage that he wants Kareena to get married to Sunil Shetty, and it's funny. Sunil Shetty ends up, and it's funny because Sunil Shetty, I mean, he's not like, I would say he's not like an A-lister, but he is beloved, right?
Hmm.
But it's the most low key entrance to a special appearance I have ever seen. They arrive with the car. Sunil Shetty steps out and Om Kori says, "Jao fresh ho jao." You know, and I was like, yeah, obviously because you धूप धूप में चल चल के थक गया होगा. So so obviously he goes to freshen up, and we don't see him for another 10 minutes, and that was the entry of the special appearance of Sunil Shetty, which
It's probably because, in 2005, 2006, he was also doing other Priyadarshan movies, so he just dropped by from the other set. He,
yeah.
he was in like Garam Masala, Malamal Weekly, Chup Chup Ke, and Bhagam Bhag, so all directed by Priyadarshan.
I do you know named all of those movies. I did not know Sunil Shetty was in any of those. He just did not leave any mark for me at all, like he does not for Kareena in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that also happened. Um,
So Sunil
Yeah,
Shetty is like a normal human being, right?
yeah,
And Kareena is like actually like मुझे इस पागल से प्यार
yeah.
है. And
And
he's
he was
like
like,
हाँ
तुम
हाँ
करो तुम.
कर लो कर लो कर लो.
मैं गया,
मैं
मैं
ठीक हूँ.
चलता हूँ.
Bye
मैं बच
bye.
गया. I'm actually, this is good for me that we know about this at the start. I don't need Seema auntie. I figured it out myself here.
He's like I'm putting up zero addition in this thing. Like मैं ठीक हूँ, I'm going. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. It's yeah. Anyway,
I,
what did you sorry, what are you saying, Sujoy?
I was just about to point out, how do we know that Salman is a nutcase in the first half? Is when he wears his trousers one long and one short, and that's his fashion choice as an insane person. But I have seen Salman do that as a sane person on so many award shows.
Also, that was a fashion statement at a certain time. I have to say that this happened.
Did
That did
you
happen.
did you wear it like
I
that?
probably did. Probably did. मैं घुमा के कहना चाह रहा हूँ. You directly come in.
Acha, tell me this.
Yes.
From your deep research, like more than Priyadarshan ever did, your deep research between like Malayalam and Hindi, what have you noticed? Like what pattern has emerged?
I honestly, I won't say. I This is better than the original. I have to say. I'll say. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. I'll just tell you. So here in the so there's this sequence that Salman Khan has these flights of fantasy, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes he'll see Om Puri screaming, and Om Puri suddenly turns into Baba Segal in his
Yeah, yeah,
mind,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Um, so that also happens in the Mohanlal version, but they have this super long FX laden disco dance sequence where suddenly for 4 minutes they're dancing in this really weird disco sequence, and Mohanlal is dancing and then everybody's dancing, and it looks so terrible and so like obviously they were, they had no money back in the day to shoot these movies, I imagine, right? But also the second sequence is where they go into the flashback um, of
Salman's
Rimi Sen,
character.
right?
Yeah.
So obviously Maya is like, she's like Dil to pagal hai for Jesus, basically, right? She's like she like promised to Jesus, and she
We're all going to hell. Like, we're like, leave no religion unburned.
it's okay if we make fun of as long as we
Uh,
don't make fun of Hinduism, we're okay. We're okay. Plus, I'm just saying, Maya is Dil to pagal hai for Jesus. Uh, so the way she dies is in a swimming pool after a whole song, a beautiful song, by the way. I love the Kyun Ki soundtrack. I love the ending of that song where they're just getting glazy eyes and they love each other so much. It has no basis to the movie whatsoever, but I do love the song. But in the original, she dies very disco dancer. She dies because she steps on electric guitar cable and she gets electrified, and that's how she dies. And I think the thing was that obviously there was no subtitle. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but it seemed to me that she wanted to. She was also Dil to Pagal Hai for Jesus, but she also wanted to be disco dancer, and the Jesus part was
she wanted to be disco dancer for Jesus,
she wanted
basically.
to be disco dancer with Jesus, and she wasn't allowed to. And Mohanlal kind of like, unleashed the disco in her, and they started singing together, and they had this really weird band. And she steps on an electric cord and she dies. So you tell me which is better.
I think, just because the Malayalam movie includes a phrase in the story that goes in unleashed the disco in her, I think the Malayalam one is better. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I did watch it, and it's basically it is a shot for shot remake, and they have made like obviously Salman goes into, I don't know where are they, Vienna, where they are in love, like
Prague, I think.
Prague, Vienna, something like
Mhm.
that. So they've clearly spent more money. And I think that's what Priyadarshan basically wanted, a paycheck. He went through his
Yeah.
filmography. He said, "What can I remake? I'll remake this," and he got a lot of
No,
uh,
it was shot in Romania.
Romania. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what it looked like. So yeah, that's where the
I
money was
feel
spent, I think.
I feel like in many ways, like Priyadarshan was just ahead of the curve because I see all these people now who are just like, oh my god, Malayalam movies, I love Malayalam movies, and their entire personality is watching Malayalam movies. And Priyadarshan, like 20 years ago, was just like, you know what's cool? Malayalam movies. I'll just remake it in Hindi for you because you can't understand and you can't read subtitles and we don't have Netflix.
Yeah,
And it just, the sad thing was just that the Malayalam movies that he wanted to show were like his own. Like that was the real tragedy. Like the because if you think about like the one like the couple of like outsize you know um the most influential movies that he made, like Bhool Bhulaiya and Hera Fairy. Actually, Hera Fairy is also not Priyadarshan, I don't think. But Bhool Bhulaiya was definitely was like not Priyadarshan, right? So he, as long as he was doing like other people's work, I think he was doing really well. And then when he was just like making his own work in Hindi, it was just terrible.
Gardish was probably the best one. I would think that
Yeah,
he, again, a
but
Mohanlal
that
movie
didn't
that he
work.
remade. It didn't
Yeah.
work, but I absolutely love it. Gardish, yeah. I don't know if like I don't know if it worked or not. Actually, I'm not sure. Wasn't it like a big thing, Billa Jalani and all that?
No,
It's
I
one
don't
of
think it was like a box office hit.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Hera
Um,
Fairy was from Ramji Rao speaking, which was by Siddiq Lal. So yeah, other people's work
yeah.
really good. And that's what you should have stuck to.
But also, like speaking of my deep research on this movie, I also went back to, because this was also the era where reviews had started, right? Like people were writing and blogging
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And I don't know if you saw the links that I sent you. I'm assuming you didn't, but I'm 100% sure you didn't. so so there was this article in I think India FM, what Bollywood Hangama was called back in the
Hmm.
day, right? And it was about this press conference that Salman had done with Priyadarshan and the producers about this movie. And it was basically a write up of what it was, of this press conference, right? And it just kind of it just showed me how wild press journalism at that time was, because they're basically saying these things that oh, actually it was Reddit. Let me just pull up the quotes here. And then, funnily enough, you could find the video of the press conference itself on YouTube, and the disconnect about what they are writing and what is happening. You could really get away with this because it was really the first few years of
Hmm.
blogging and all that kind of thing, and video was loading so slowly that people were just reading the blog at that time. So the question was, how long do you plan to play romantic films? Salman says, till the time they run, we will see later, which is a very Salman answer. Here is Rediff's our take. Salman turns 40 this December. He's balding and gaining weight. He may not be able to carry on as the romantic young man for long. It's like, what? And this whole article is these kind of things. There's like, what is happening here? um Here, Salman has become overconfident that his film will do well despite that the press writes about him. That's our take. When they ask him about Garam Masala, Salman feels Priyan's other film, Garam Masala, may be better than Kyun Ki. After all, that's a comedy, while Kyun Ki is a serious film. Beside, Salman Khan prefers him in comedy movies. None of this was ever said in the. I would urge you to go read the link and then go watch the original. Really fun interaction Salman is having with the press, but the level of antagonism and the image that Salman Khan had with the press, it was a thing. It was a thing. It just kind of brings you back to that era. It's quite hilarious.
When was the driving incident? That was like 2000 what, 3?
Probably. And then also the
The
Ashwarya
black
incidents was
buck.
happening,
Yeah,
all of
the
that,
black buck stuff and like
yeah,
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 it was like yeah, he was like really in the thick of it around this
yeah,
time as well, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh,
Nope. Sorry.
um, was there anything that you liked about this movie at all? Like any like sliver of goodness, Sujoy, that you could find in this
I
movie?
really like Dil Keh Raha Hai, the song, because it took me back to Kunal Ganjawala, with a voice that I hadn't heard in a very, very long time. He was so big at that particular point in time. And it's sad that he's not singing anymore, or not, I don't know, working with music directors and stuff, or not to be found in any of the soundtracks in the last 7 8 years perhaps. And yeah, this was one of those. Other than that, most of the soundtrack is very pika for me.
Mm.
And other than that, there's more to complain about. ऐसा क्यों है ये ऐसा क्यों कर रहा है, and why is this happening, and all of that, rather than anything that I really enjoyed in this movie. Everything was like a bit of a, head scratcher. Like, why, why are all these decisions being made in the writing?
Mm. Amrita, anything positive that you found about Kyun Ki?
That just sounds a little bit desperate to me.
कुछ तो
And
बोलो अमृत.
the and the answer is no. I did not like, even like the fun zesty songs. Like there's that weird song where he's dancing around Kareena that is clearly meant to be a holy song, right? Like it's a Chedchal song, but you're like,
Goli mare tera dupatta. That one.
that one. It's clearly meant to be a holy song, but for some reason they've just like shoved it in there, and I'm just like, I don't understand why. Like, what is the reason for any of these things?
I thought, I mean, just from that era, I thought it looked quite well shot. Like I like the cinematography of it. No, I'm being serious. I like in that era. I remember the kind of movies. Like I just like that South Indian lens of shooting things in that time, and I think this is really nicely done. I think also the production design and the clothes are really cool. Like a lot of the things Salman is wearing, people are now wearing again, just as Salman as a trend setter back in the era. I also think they look great. I think Salman and Kareena are really like popping at that time. And I think a lot of time people talk a lot about the physicality of Salman now, like he's fat or he's this or he's that. I think this is the peak era of Salman looking handsome. But yeah, I don't think there's that much. I remember I had like fond feelings for this movie when it came out, but I'm like now rewatching it, I was like, I don't know what those fond feelings were based on. Like, yeah,
You
maybe
saw
this.
the half pant long pant hybrid, and you were like, मेरा तो यही fashion है.
I mean, I'll be honest. The fashion came from somewhere else, and then Salman incorporated it. I wasn't copying Salman, but like, yeah, no, he had this look where he was doing the whole meme from Family Guy about I wear long sleeve shirts over short sleeve stuffs, short sleeve shirts, and it looked good. Salman pulled it off, like those kind of things.
I
But
just want to say on behalf of the South Indian nation that you cannot pin this on us. Like I don't know, like whatever you are saying, like the South Indian lens and whatever. No, we do not claim this. No, thank you.
No, but Sujoy mean no what I mean with the lighting and the way like there
Mhm.
was this
Hmm,
it looked pretty like
Yeah.
compared to like what Bollywood was had a very like
hmm.
dull gray lens of shooting things, and this had like a very like very soft color lighting. I like that aesthetic of that time. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to be positive, bringing some positivity into this
uh,
situation we're in.
yeah. I feel like it's a situation that we've put ourselves in rather than found ourselves in, to
Yeah.
be very fair.
But it's all thanks to our lovely Patreons who contribute and, are in the special tier of recommending movies. Osama was in this tier. He offered Kyun Ki, and I think he did it specifically for you two because he knew I was going to like it, or used to like it. So this is really about you guys, not about me. Uh, but if you also want to be a Patreon and recommend us some movies, sign up. The link is in the show notes. Amrita, where can people find you online?
Well, I've been locked out of Twitter, so and I'm in like no rush to find my way back. So basically nowhere. Like you can't find me anywhere. Except for our Patreon. So sign up for our Patreon. You can sign up for as little as $1. That's where like I'm still posting my catch up videos. Like we're just having like conversation, etc. So that's like a really great place to find me. And also our YouTube channel, guys. Like we're still trying to make fetch happen over on YouTube. So give us a follow. I know that these guys had like Asim and Sujoy while I was out traveling last week. They put up a review for Mardani, and that was like really fun. Another movie that I will never watch. So I'm really glad that they watched it so they can talk about it. So check that out. There's like loads of other content as well. We still have like a whole bunch of videos that are coming out that we recorded earlier last year. In London. So there's like a whole bunch of things that are coming out on YouTube, and you should give us a follow.
Actually, I think one will have already dropped. We have it uploaded, so we just need to like post it, which
Hmm.
will probably
Hmm.
happen in the, before this episode comes out. So go on YouTube and watch that one. So, Joy, where can people find you online?
I'm still online on all my socials at 93K, but I a little bit of story here. I don't log on to Twitter as like frequently as you used to, but out of habit, I sometimes click on it. It's a wild app now. It's just full of
Yeah.
wild stuff. But somehow my feed is now full of, people posting like WhatsApp forwards in a bit. Like they will post a picture of a cute cat and say hi to Gary or your 2026 will be terrible. So I, out of fear, say hi, Gary. So that's my only purpose in Twitter right now. I see random pictures of pets and I just say hi to them and
Uh,
then I log out.
you know what? I actually have seen that. And I was just like, is Joy okay? Like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
I'm just afraid that my 2026 will be terrible, guys. So I'm acting out of pure caution. But yeah, I can be found on Instagram and TikTok as well at 93K. And you can follow Khandaan Podcast on all our socials at Khandaan Podcast.
Drop us an email at youpodcasting@gmail.com. I don't know in which order this podcast episode will be posted, but yeah. So I think I know what we're going to be doing, but I don't know when this episode is coming out, so I don't know how to tell you guys. It might be before or after. But yeah, thank you for listening. We'll be back. Where Amrita is back, so we'll be scheduling, on a regular pace again. And yeah, thanks for listening.